Hello, I'm Peaceful Nik the Medium. I'm a certified evidential medium specializing in helping people heal from the loss of their loved ones. Welcome into my live stream this evening. Happy Friday. I'm sure most of you are excited it's Friday. I'm excited for the weekend, and I'm glad that you're here. And if you're watching the replay, welcome in. I have not gone over my services in quite a long time. And so tonight I'm going to do that before we chat, because I think there's quite a few people who have joined my channel that are new. And so I would like to say hello to everyone who is new and who has joined me on this journey. I was recently certified through Mark Ireland's program, mediumship certification program. It was quite a long, wonderful process, stressful as it should be when you're being certified for something like this. So I'm so happy that you guys are all here joining me. Say hello when you pop in. I'm going to go through some logistics and talk about what services I offer. And let's see. Hi, Mangled. Mangled, I'm doing you a favor. Watch this. You're going to love it. Okay, so I've got to get this all worked out here. And then Mangled will not have such a big job tonight. So welcome in, welcome in. I am going to talk about all the services I provide, and I want to get the right balance here of how it's going to look aesthetically. Let's see. I don't know. We'll try this and see how it looks. Hi, Deborah. So recently I had a giveaway. I had a wonderful donor. Hi, Vivian. I had a wonderful donor who offered to help some folks out with some readings. So I had a contest 2 days ago for 48 hours. It ran on all my different socials across the board. And so this month I'm giving away, and I've already announced it, and I've been in contact with all of the winners, which shocks me because usually I don't hear from all the winners so fast. So I'm happy about that. All of the winners have their time scheduled. I think one, we're still trying to come up with a time, but I've contacted all the winners for the 4 readings for February. I will do this again for March, April, May, and the summer. I will give away 4 readings a month through then. Good evening, Diana. So continue watching my socials for those announcements for the giveaways. And it'll be like today where I had the spinny wheel and everybody's name on it. It's interesting when I announce anything that's a giveaway or a freebie or anything like that, the algorithms suppress it. And I don't know why. Maybe because of scammers, but I don't know, whatever. That's what happens. So that has been wrapped up and taken care of, and everybody's scheduled for the most part. I'm still figuring out the last one. All the winners have been contacted, which is great. And it's across all my platforms. So that's all wrapped up in a nice, neat little bow. And so those will start next week, actually. All right. So Peaceful Nik the Medium. Who am I? If you're watching the replay, if you just happened to cross my page, welcome in. Likes, shares, and subscribes if you enjoy mediumship and self-love, self-help, boundary type content. This is the place for you. Also, go if you haven't seen my interview with Suzanne Giesman, it is on my page. It's a wonderful conversation. So please go watch that. Again, it was suppressed. She has, hundreds of thousands of subscribers. I have over 7,000 and it doesn't even have 200 views. which is weird because she's famous. So I don't understand that. I don't know what's going on out in the world, but I just want as many people to see that beautiful conversation as possible. All right. So I'm going to go through my offerings. I have tons of things and I really don't talk about it a lot because I get talking and I forget. So my website, you can see here under my name and you can see on the slideshow. I'm not sure how clear that is to you all. peacefulnikthemedium.com. This is just a little placard that kind of goes out for different advertisements. I'm a medium. I talk to your loved ones in spirit. I connect with your loved ones for healing, closure, guidance, etc. I have mentorships and classes and workshops to teach mediumship and different aspects of mediumship. And I have spiritual guidance and card readings. So that's just like a little placard about that. For the wonderful holiday that's coming up, I have 3-card digital tarot readings. I set this up so my picture would be on the side and it just doesn't look right. I don't know. Anyway, I guess it doesn't matter. So I have 3-card digital tarot readings available for your loved ones. You can order these. They are tailored to the holiday. So the next holiday coming up is Valentine's Day. If you celebrate it or not, you get a special PDF packaged, personalized reading for you or your loved one or whoever you want to give it to. I've had people order, 5 to 10 for their family members for different holidays. It's a nice little gift and it's personalized. So you can give me their first name. And then I literally set an intention, pull my cards, write up the reading, put it in the holiday themed PDF file and send it to you. Or if you want to send it to them, that's fine too. So next we have mediumship readings. I had to add March because my February was full and I didn't even realize my February was full. So I just added March. I have a sale on 20-minute readings for $79. I also have 30-minute, 45-minute, et cetera, but this is a really budget-friendly price. And then guidance or card readings, again, a sale for $49. I just put a whole bunch of dates and times for February and March up. So those sell a lot. So because it's such a good price, this is not a mediumship reading. This is guidance or cards. I also have 2 books. One is How to Become Your Own Medium. This you can get on paperback on Shmamazon, and you can get it digital format straight to your email on my website. And I have Mediumship 101. I sell a lot of these. It's a workbook equivalent to my Introduction to Mediumship course. And it's a great place if you're thinking about taking a mediumship class. It's a great place to start because it'll let you know if you really want to do it. If you really want to do mediumship. It's a really good starting point and it's very reasonably priced. Then I have one-on-one development classes. So if you just have some questions about a specific aspect that you need clearing up, or you just want to work on your spirit guides or holding your connection to spirit or your clairs or whatever it is, I have one-on-one classes that we kind of schedule around both of our schedules. And then I have my annual mentorships. I have one open for February and one open for March, as I have 2 students coming to the end of their annual mentorship. You can pay this monthly or one lump sum, and the lump sum is cheaper overall if you pay it all at once. And then I have tons of custom artwork. I do Disney-inspired paintings, lotus flowers, any kind of flowers really, moon, paintings. Those are, little kid like moon paintings, ocean paintings, whale paintings, trees, landscapes, my Grinch paintings. I'm sure you've all seen those. And those are custom to order. So those are my offerings, and I haven't gone over those in a long time. So thank you for sitting with me through that. And I appreciate you guys all being here. Vivian loves the book and loves her current mentorship program. Thank you. And she loves Stitch. You're going to have to fill me in on all of the things you did today, Vivian. Mangold said there's someone in her neighborhood has their car completely decked out in Stitch colors and stickers. That is awesome. Stitch is so funny. Stitch is the best. My husband loves Stitch. He loves Lilo and Stitch, and Vivian does too. And so there's the Stitch painting. All right. So what do you guys want to talk about tonight? I don't really have a plan. Things are weird. We got some First Amendment stuff going on, some Second Amendment stuff going on. We got 3 million more files were released today. I have been working a lot today, so I don't know everything that's in the files that were released today, but I know there's some pretty important stuff in them, pretty telling things in them. The one page I did see was reports of people calling things into the FBI over the years, naming names. Catherine O'Hara, rest in peace. Moira Rose. I put on Schitt's Creek, the television show, this evening when I found out she is, this one hurts. This one hurts my heart real hard. Just a light in this world. Hi, Gail. Hi, Manx girl. A light we needed with her humor and her everything, just everything about her. Yeah, her and Eugene are such an amazing team. Right, exactly. So it's been, it's very sad, and inevitably there will be some mediums on social media, probably TikTok of all places, if anybody's still over there, that they'll say, oh, I connected to Catherine O'Hara. They do it every time somebody famous dies. She said this, she said that, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, not ethical. If you see anybody anywhere saying that, they're not ethical. I don't care if they're famous, if they have $1 billion. I don't care. You don't go connect to people who your sitter is in front of you. If you hire me and you knew Catherine O'Hara personally and you hire me for reading, that's one thing. But if I'm just on the internet talking about her and all her messages, and it's unethical and it's harmful. It's harmful. Because she is a real person. She is a real person with a real family and loved ones that are struggling right now. Of course, anytime someone passes, you should not be just going out on the internet saying stuff. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Hi, Tomorrow Kiddo. Welcome in. Her passing reminds us of staying in the light and what good there is in the world. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hi, Bunny Young. Welcome in. Appreciate what you do for us. I appreciate you for that comment. Very much so. Let's see. Vivian said, for me, additional details of the files are not important. We all know most are being kept secret and redacted before being released. It's guilty or even more guilty. The sad part about the files is we already know. It's very obvious that there are horrific people that are in charge of our country no matter what side of the aisle you're on, that did horrific. The little teeny tiny bit I accidentally saw when I was scrolling one day, I saw some photos just for a millisecond are burned into my brain because I don't want to know the details. I know enough. I believe the preponderance of evidence of all of these young girls and then the women also. I believe them. Where there's smoke, there's fire, right? And this is over many, many decades. It's not like 3 girls came out last week and said something. No, this is his wife, Ivana, his first wife, reported a GRAPE in their divorce court papers. So that's a whole other story. So by her husband, marital GRAPE. Trying not to get kicked off. Diana said, I know you are real. You've proven it. Thank you very much. Hello, Donna McCormick, Angel. Welcome in. Welcome in. And so I have vowed to keep the vibe high. I do want to keep the vibe high. There are still real things happening. So I don't mind mentioning some things and keeping us aware of what's going on. But I don't want to just go deep down a dark rabbit hole into a pit hole of hell. Hi, Secret Charla. Welcome, welcome. I'm glad you're here. So any questions about mediumship? I've realized I don't talk about mediumship enough. I'm talking about, self-help and self-love a lot on my platform, and that's super important. But haven't been talking about mediumship and spiritual guidance as much as I should be, and that's what my niche is. So if you have any mediumship questions, comments, testimonials, recommendations of, your friends that are mediums or whatever, just pop it in the chat. As always, please like and comment especially on my YouTube channel. That's where I am concentrating and focusing my content creation for. And it's important because I've lost, for some unknown reason, almost 300 subscribers on YouTube in the past couple of weeks. I think they clean up bots and stuff, which I understand, but it's rough when you see that number ticking down. You're like, what is happening? I put out content every single day, multiple times a day usually. So it's weird. So I want to be here and I want to help people. All right. I'm just reading the comments. Thank you very much, Mangled. Vivian said, I can't read the news. Neither can I. I also am a visual person too. Bad news just bothers me too much, trying to keep my vibe high. Yes, exactly. We've got to keep the vibe high. Tomorrow Kiddo said, this year and next are giving me the same vibe as 2019, like big changes are coming positive. I've seen a lot of tarot readers and astrologers. I'm not an astrologer. I've seen a lot of them say the same thing, the way the planets are moving through from one sign to another, that there will be positive changes. So I've also seen that from other people. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting ride. Hello, Miss Jackson. Love and healing and white light to you as well. I'm glad you're here. Hi, Dawn. News gives me anxiety. Yeah, news gives me anxiety too. Very, very much. So, yeah. It's not fun. The news is awful. Okay, some other people in our community have had subscribers removed from their channels. You know what, Miss Jackson? You know what I found? I was looking at my YouTube channel. I was looking for a video from a creator that I follow. Okay. The creator wasn't on my subscribers list. I had to go back to their page by hand, type it in, and go resubscribe. And this one makes my brain explode. This makes me so furious. It's unbelievable. Okay. Turning Point USA. I have gotten 100 Turning Point USA ads. I have blocked them dozens of times. Every time I see one, I block it and I report it. And they're like, why are you reporting this? I'm like, because I blocked this and I'm still getting ads. And then when I was on my subscriber list, looking for the people I subscribe to, they were on there. They had auto subscribed me to Turning Point USA. Of all effing places, I would never, ever in a million years subscribe to that channel. Ever. I would never even type it in. So they have had to have purchased many, many followers. They had to. Now, yes, Janet, exactly. Yes, yuck. Now, it's very telling if you go look at your local movie theater. Right now, everybody look up their local movie theater for the Schmalania documentary, which I'm seeing a million commercials about, which makes me also very mad. It makes me want to gag. No, they're not selling any tickets. Like Stephen Colbert showed on his show the other day, Thursday or Wednesday, the local theater in New York, 0 tickets sold. Yeah, check open seating. Exactly. So you guys, right now, go on your phone or other device, wherever you are, and check and see how many have sold or not sold in your local area and put it in the comments. So make us all feel better. LOL, just got here. Hey, Nick. Hi, Aaron, the hairstylist. Welcome in. Tomorrow Kiddo said, I found when I comment on a video frequently, my words change after I hit send post because of AI. Wow. On YouTube. Tomorrow Kiddo said, only 1 ticket sold in Australia. Wow. 1 ticket sold countrywide. Hi, Gail. That's amazing. Now I know that they're trying to have people buy up tickets in certain theaters to make it look like people are buying the tickets. But I'd be interested, say somebody sold 50 tickets, I'd be interested to have somebody go into the theater and see if there are actually 50 people in there. That's what I want to know. And I'm sure people are out there looking at this stuff. People who work at the theaters, they'll be like, we sold 50 tickets and there's nobody here. You'll see it, guaranteed. By Monday, you'll be seeing it. I'd be shocked if we didn't. Okay, this is a really good question, Vivian. Thank you for reminding me I'm supposed to be talking about mediumship. I get off track. I will be going live at 8:30 Eastern for members only. So if you're a member of my channel, I'll be going live for members only at 8:30 Eastern. That's in 35 minutes. And we'll probably pull cards and chit chat and stuff like that. Why would someone hear their guides but has never heard or seen other spirits? There's probably multiple layers to this. One of them is you're trying too hard. You don't have enough development. You had a very fast spiritual awakening, which I know you did. You had an extreme spiritual awakening. And so it's kind of like giving a kindergartner a calculus book, and they can read the words on the first page, but they can't do the math on the second page because They didn't get to learn numerals, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, fractions, algebra. You have to put the base of fundamentals in before, for some people. Now, some people are just, they get spirits left and right all the time. It's not like that for everybody. As you all know, I never saw a spirit until 2019. Ever. I never expected to. I never even considered it or thought about it. It just showed up in my head one day. I've told the story a million times. And I blew it off, got confirmation from the family that that was the thing. Then I blew it off. And a few months later, the same thing happened with somebody else who passed away. And that's when I started taking classes. But I had literally no idea. I had to put a base of knowledge down, and I had to work at being a medium. And I had to really focus my attention on getting a spirit to come into my awareness. So if you, Vivian, would sit in front of me and I ask you to pull up one of my loved ones, which I won't because they'll start coming in and probably bother you in your sleep. If I say to a student, bring forward such and such and so person, and then you raise your awareness. You do breathing exercises, you raise your awareness, and you invite them in. And there's a whole process to that. It's not just raise your awareness and they're there. It's a step-by-step process. You have to learn your numerals, your addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, fractions, algebra, then the calculus. That's the analogy, right? Yeah, it takes time. So next time we meet, we'll work on it. I know you're on vacation right now, so we can't meet this week, obviously. But if you want to meet next week, we can work on it. I can't remember when our next meeting is. I don't have my schedule up right now. Let's see. Let's see. Tomorrow Kiddo said yes. Aussie wouldn't vote for Trump either. That's hilarious. Aaron said, I just checked 4 local theaters, not one is showing it. Congratulations to wherever you live. That's awesome. Nisi, hello. LOL. Hello. Hi, Nisi. Glad you're here. I see the same 4 set of seats for the next 5 days. LOL. Meaning sold in the theater. Janet, Miss Jackson said, supposedly some theaters are giving out free tickets. And if the person stays for the whole movie, they get $50. You couldn't give me $1 million to sit through that movie. I would be, no. Nisi said, otherwise no other seats are taken. That makes me happy. Vivian said, now I recall hearing my guides as young as 13. I'm glad I never saw other unknown spirits because I would have probably fainted. And that's, it's good, right? Because we have control over who comes into our awareness. You have to allow them to come in. Now, sometimes they're invasive, and I have mediumship students and mentees that have spirits just coming in all the time, and they'll be walking through the forest and a spirit will show up. And I'm like, no, wait, no, we don't want that. You don't want to be an open portal to spirit and energy. That can be a recipe for disaster. You want to have agency over your mediumship and or psychic abilities. And you want to tell spirit, okay, now is the time. So I always tell my students, have a sacred space in your home. When I started my mediumship journey, when I started the professional end of my mediumship journey, I was in a 600 square foot apartment in the San Francisco Bay Area, and my office was a tiny corner of my bedroom, and my desk was my nightstand, and that was my sacred space. There was literally no other place to have it, and that's where I did my readings. Now we have moved, and I have a home, and I have a whole office here, and so this is and I'm blessed and grateful for that. And this is my sanctuary. This is where spirit knows. So I think I spoke with you about this, Vivian. Have a sacred space separate from your workspace where you sit, do your meditation, do your sitting in the power. And then when it's time to invite other spirits in, then you let them know, okay, this is the space and time when I'm going to do that. And you have to have a schedule. We don't want to be you don't want to be walking through Animal Kingdom in Pandora Land and have a spirit show up. And it's a very Pandora Land in Animal Kingdom is a very spiritually based movie. If you've seen Avatar, it's very spiritually based. So that's why I'm saying that about that. If you're watching Coco, very spiritually based movie, right? A lot of times we have supernatural thoughts and events when we're watching something supernatural. Okay. Hi, Gina. That's a great question, by the way, Vivian. Let's see, tomorrow, kiddo. I love that my guide gives me a physical sensation for yes and no questions. That's wonderful. It took time to develop, but it works for me. Did you want to discuss this? Okay. This is something that's very helpful if you develop it well. Like you said, it took time, right? We don't just usually, most of the time, you don't just say, okay, spirit guide, tickle my right hand for yes and tickle my left hand for no. And all of a sudden it works, right? It's time and practice and effort and paying attention to sensations on your body. And this brings up the subtlety of spirit. Spirit is very subtle. And sometimes you might feel just feel just the most gentle sound on your ear or just the most gentle sensation. If you're working with spirit, pay attention to that. It's not always like boom, 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 boom. Sometimes it's very subtle. Most of the time, more often than not, it's very subtle. And we miss a lot because we live in a very noisy world and a very sensory world. And so we've got stuff coming at us all the time. We're not thinking when we're working like, oh, was that weird thing on my face my spirit guide? No, we're overloaded with sensations all the time. So when you're working with spirit, when you're working with your guides, when you're bringing loved ones forward, you have to really focus and pay attention. That's why having a dedicated time and space to do your practice is so important, because if it's just willy-nilly all over the place, it's going to be harder to develop. You don't want an erratic mind when you're developing your mediumship. You want to have calmness about you. You want to be settled. You want to be focused. Once you are a developed medium, it's different for each person. I prefer calm. I prefer quiet. Like I had to reschedule readings a couple of weeks ago because my HOA decided that they were going to put all new mulch on my block with this giant machine, and we didn't know. And so I had to reschedule readings for the day because it was so loud in front of my office that there was no way I could have done a reading. It was like extraordinarily loud for hours in front on our block. So I need calm and quiet and peace, but that's my personality. I probably, if I forced myself to, could have done the readings, but it would have made me uncomfortable and feel like I wasn't doing a good job. because of the noise. That's me. So I like to have calm and quiet. That's me. That's how I like to do it. Gina said there was a review that said if that movie was shown on a plane, people would walk out. I like that review. I like that a lot. I can't wait to see when theater workers show what was sold and how many people are in the theater. You know what's going to happen. Hi, Wisdom Seeker. How are you, sweetheart? I'm so glad you're here. Dawn loves Coco. I know, I love Coco. Oh, Tomorrow Kiddo said, for context, my guide has been doing it for years before I realized what was happening. Through years of work, automatic writing, cards, etc., trial and error, eventually systematic practice. True. Right. Exactly. Yeah, it's different for everyone. I see some new names here, and I'm so glad to see new folks popping in my live. I was a teacher for 20 years, and I'm an adjunct professor still. I'm a professor of astronomy, and not astrology, astronomy. And through my teaching, and science communication and education, I don't believe in boxing people in to rigid structures. I just don't think that's helpful to tell a student, a mediumship student, okay, you have to have this sign, you have to have a balloon for a sign for somebody's birthday, you have to have a red heart for somebody's spouse, you have to have a pink heart for somebody's sister, you have to have a tingle on your right shoulder for jingling bells or whatever. Like, that's not how I teach. And sometimes students may not understand the method behind my teaching, but the reality is you have to develop your own system. I can give you, like I was using the math analogy, I can teach you the numerals, but you're going to learn your own math, right? I can teach you 0 through 9 are the 9 numbers, the 10 numbers that we use, right? But you have to move the numbers around how it fits your practice. I'm just not a rigid mediumship teacher. There's no rigidity in mediumship. Every human brain is a little different. Every human soul is a little different. Everybody, let's say you have 5 people in your office where you work, and they all have to do 20 reports a day. Well, they're all going to end up doing those reports differently because each person is different. It's the same thing with working with spirit. Everyone learns their own way, and you have to, and the most important thing is, I can teach you the basics and the fundamentals. You have to do readings. If you're going to learn mediumship and you're going to communicate with spirit, you have to do readings. You can't be a medium if you're not doing readings. And you wouldn't believe how many students I've taught over the last 6 years, mediumship, that don't want to do readings. I'm like, you're paying me for this. You're paying me to learn something, but you don't want to do it. It's bizarre. So I've actually had to kick people out of my mentorships before and my classes that just don't want to do the work. I'm like, well, why are you here? Right? Like, it's weird. Anyway, let's see. Oh, you found me through Ask the Spirit Guide, Karen. Oh, wow. Thank you so much. I love that. I appreciate that so much. Is that a website, or is that a medium on YouTube? Tell me who that is. I appreciate that. Vivian said, my guides gave me angel numbers for 3 straight weeks last year. All of a sudden, intense chills when I watched a video saying you are healing chosen one. I freaked out and stopped the video. Sometimes it's too intense, right? I get overwhelmed sometimes when I really get like a really profound download. It can be very overwhelming. Do I suggest the same time of day? I think it depends on a person's schedule. So I will make a confession. When I was first in mediumship training, it took me a long time to make a dedicated time to do sitting in the power. I resisted it because I didn't understand how important it was. And I was working 2 other jobs, a full-time job and a part-time job on top of it. And so I was just kind of all over the place and just trying to make my life work right. And so I didn't make a dedicated time. Now I have every single day a dedicated time. Most days, at least 5 days a week, a dedicated time. Now, if it's 2:00 on Tuesday and 4:00 on Wednesday, it doesn't really matter as long as it's not chaotic, right? As long as it's not like, I'm at the mall and I gotta go do sitting in the power, so I'm going to go to the food court, right? Like, no, just skip it that day or do it later that night. When I say make a schedule, I just mean for consistency purposes, right? Life happens. They know life happens. But if you know your normal schedule is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you have 20 minutes to do a spiritual practice, then do it that way, right? If you can't do it, if you can do it Monday at 2:00 and then next Friday at 4:00, that's okay. Just as long as you're consistent. That's the most important thing, because not everybody has time to make a perfect schedule. As a teacher, I love your approach. Thank you. I have over 20 years experience teaching science and science communication. I actually work for the largest nonprofit Humans to Mars organization. I'm the education director. I teach students how to get to Mars all around the world, as well as being an adjunct professor, as well as my mediumship. So I have 1 foot on Earth, 1 foot on Mars, the actual planet, theoretically, and 1 foot in the spirit world. So it's great. I'm never bored. We're going to get you connecting in March. I'm going to get all my students together and we're going to do some readings together. Susie Q, hi. It was in the chat of a channel. A member name dropped you. Oh my God, that's amazing. I love that. I absolutely love that. Thank you. Oh, that's cool. It's an average person helping people to open their perspective on YouTube. She doesn't claim to be an expert ever, just someone encouraging a supportive community. Well, I definitely want that person's channel because that's right up my alley, specifically with developing spiritually. Yeah, if you go to my playlist, I have hundreds of mediumship videos on my channel. I have a playlist called Mediumship Development and Learning. I have a playlist called Tips and Tricks with Peaceful Nik. I have tons of information. I have free guide to finding your spirit guide on my website. I have videos about it. I have lots of cool stuff. Oh, that's super cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. Alma said, I just love hearing your voice of vibration. You just calm me down. Thank you. I love your love of space. Yeah, it's a little bit of an obsession. Where's my Mars globe? Here's my Mars globe. My Humans to Mars globe. You can have a sandstorm on the Humans to Mars globe. Yeah. All right. Oh, I got to check the time. Okay. Couple minutes and then I got to go live over on members only. Thank you, Mangled. Thank you, Wisdom Seeker. Ask the Spirit Guides is the channel. Okay, let me write that down. Somebody asked me the other day again about Gild the Lily by Billy Strings. I listened to it finally. Ask the Spirit Guides. Okay, channel. I will check that out for sure. And I liked it. Hi, Peekaboo. If anyone can leave a comment on any video after, it really helps. It's just not you, multiple sites and creators are experiencing the drop. Okay. Well, lots of weird stuff is happening across multiple platforms with all the weird stuff happening in our country and around the world. So yeah, that's the likes, shares, and subscribes are very, very, very helpful. Oh, Lori, book club soon. Oh, I know. I have a wedding in 2 weeks. My son's getting married, and then a baby 4 weeks after that. I'm not having a baby. My daughter-in-law's having a baby shower, and a 1-year birthday party for my other granddaughter, who will be a year old in March. So I have 4 major events coming up in the next 8 weeks. And I know I was supposed to start it in January, and I didn't. And I don't think I have the time. I just don't right now. I want to do it. I just don't have the time. I'm so sorry. I just don't. Peekaboo needs help with protection and discernment. Okay. Protection from humans or protection from what? And discernment is you have to go inward and meditate. Protection from humans, you have to put up your boundaries, get as far away from dangerous or toxic humans as possible. Spirit is not going to harm you. Anytime you have any kind of negative energy coming towards you, exude love, push out love as far as you can. You know what's interesting? I'm streaming on Facebook, and I have not gotten one comment from Facebook, and when I don't even know if anybody's watching over there. So if anybody's watching on Facebook, can you let me know? Just give me a thumbs up or something, because they have, you don't never know what's happening, and like people are dropping off like crazy. So exude love. Thank you, Mangled. Karen is really good. She channels many people with her pendulum and dowsing rods. Okay, I'll check her out. Who is considered a medium? Okay, this is a very important question. And it's something I cover in my classes because people don't know. I didn't understand. 7 years ago, this month is 7 years when I had my first mediumship experience, and it was not on my radar at all. It just started happening. A medium is a person who can raise their awareness, expand their awareness, and invite the soul of a loved one in spirit into their awareness and get information to provide to the person sitting in front of them. So Susie Q, let's say you're my sitter or you're my client and you're sitting in front of me and you pop on the screen for a mediumship reading. I raise my awareness. I do this before the sitter pops on because it just wastes time if you do it during the reading. I do a meditation before I pull, I say blah, 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 set my intention. I raise my awareness. I have a whole thing I do. I ask spirit to step in. I'll say, whoever's here for Susie Q, please provide evidence, blah, 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 blah. And then they'll just start giving me information in my mind, in my mind's eye. I see them, I hear them, I feel them, I sense them, I know things about them. A medium talks to loved ones in spirit. Now, using your clairs, seeing, feeling, hearing, etc. Somebody using a pendulum isn't necessarily a medium. You can be a medium and use a pendulum, but I would never personally use a pendulum to communicate with spirit. It's not how I was trained. And I think pendulums, 50-50, yes, no, maybe 33% chance. I personally, as a scientist who became a medium, I think I don't trust that as much as direct connection to spirit. And reading tarot is not mediumship. Reading tarot is you set an intention. So I have my tarot cards here. I set an intention. I'll say, Susie Q, what does Susie Q need to hear? What's the best message for Susie Q? I have shuffled and cleansed my decks before, and I'll shuffle, and what the first however many, let's say 3 cards that pop out, those are the cards that were guided through the energy of spirit or the universe to pop out, and then I read them as a message. Tarot is not mediumship. Using a pendulum, I would not use it for mediumship. Mediumship, all you need is your brain, period. You need your brain and your soul connection to spirit. You don't need any crystals or fancy, like I have all these beautiful things in my office. I don't need any of it to be a medium. None of it. I don't need crystals or I have a crystal ball actually, but I just bought the crystal ball like 2 years ago just because I wanted one, not because I needed it. But I love it. It's very, very heavy. So you don't need any of the doodads. You just need your mind. So tarot is not mediumship. Pendulum, I don't recommend for mediumship. And mediums just need their brain. That's it. Communication with spirit. Great, great question. Many layers to that question. Yes, I do have a lot going on, peekaboo, always. I'm never bored. My kids are grown and I don't have any pets anymore, so I got plenty of time. And my husband works and coaches. Yeah, he bent the knee. You got that right. You're welcome. Karen from Ask the Spirit. Spirit guides us calm with her messages. Thank you. Thank you. Diana, family first. Yeah, Susie Q. I rarely go live on Facebook. I only started going live on Facebook through my StreamYard again because it automatically will connect for me and I don't have to do anything. But I just don't know about that place over there. It's a whole thing. But I got, for some reason, maybe because I did the Suzanne Giesemann interview, I got a whole bunch of new people on my Facebook, like, I don't know, 100 or something, which to me is a lot. So I started clicking live again. Mangled said, if a medium can talk to the dead, what can a large do? That's so funny because my husband is very tall. He's 6'6", and I'm barely 5'6". I'm probably shorter than that now that I'm older. And I always say I'm a medium. He says I'm a large. So that's really funny. Very funny. Many of my friends have left. I post stuff that will annoy Zuck. Yeah. Thank you, Tomorrow Kiddo. Thank you to everyone new. I have less than 5 minutes to go pop on my members only live. So if you're a channel member, pop over there. We'll do some cards. Oh, Wisdom Seeker, you love my last live with Coach Willett. Hats off to you, both of you, for approaching your 30th year anniversary. And you know, it's amazing. Our anniversary, we got married in 1996, and we didn't know, I don't even know if this was a thing then. It's Star Wars Day. Our anniversary is May the 4th, and we didn't know for years. And my friend called me up one day, who's a Star Wars nerd like me, and he's like, what are you doing? Happy May the 4th be with you day. I said, what? I go, it's my anniversary. He goes, you got married on Star Wars Day? I go, what's Star Wars Day? So I had no idea. So I love that just coincidentally happened. So yeah, we're excited. We're going to travel the world for our anniversary. And by the world, I mean Epcot, because we live right up the road from Epcot. I told my husband, I said, we got to dress nice one day, not like super nice, but not shorts and tank top like we usually do at Disney World. And we got to go through all the countries and take pictures for our anniversary. So I know. Thank you, Mangled. You're right. How did everybody know? Everybody knows I talk too much about the bathroom. All right, everybody. I will see all the members. Thank you, everybody who joined tonight. I appreciate you and anybody watching the replay. And I'll see you on the members only. Bye.